All right, welcome everyone. This is we're calling it our summer report.
Yes.
A lot has happened since, last time I think we went live just after Kanjam Singapore.
Yeah.
When we were still working on finalizing Omnium TI and a few things were still being finalized. We have now, obviously, Kanjam London is behind us. Thanks again to everyone who joined us at Kanjam. It was amazing, as always. The energy and the people who came from abroad, exhibitors and visitors both. We are very grateful for the support and for the energy you guys bring to Kanjam. Kanjam to me is always really more about the people than anything else.
Absolutely.
It's where you get to meet a lot of people from the hobby and make new friends and get to see the industry from on a more personal level, connect with people like Lee, like Symphonium, Felix, Chang, etc., etc., etc. So Kanjam was great. Amazing lineup of IEMs, headphones, amplifiers, and I think it's fair to say that it's been overall a great year so far.
Yeah.
In terms of releases. I can't remember. I mean, maybe there have been, but this year to me has been very strong in terms of the quality and the consistency of the new products that we are seeing at all price ranges, right?
Yes. Not just the flagships.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We will be talking about that as well. We will be covering a few IEMs at different price points. So I think we're gonna maybe kick it off with the IEM first, and then move into the bigger stuff. Is that all right?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. That's it.
So I think starting from actually where to start from. I think the place to start is actually what to me have been maybe the most disruptive IEMs of this year so far. Two of them, actually three of them now, because one arrived last week. And we are, of course, talking about. Sorry.
Hey, Bobby.
Bobby. That's on TI getting tangled. So we are talking, of course, about the YU9 Ch. I think that's the correct pronunciation, which is spelled QUE in English. And then, of course, the soon to be, it's released officially, but soon to be shipped, the Hercules Audio Noah. Now, I guess we can start with Hercules Audio because it's a brand that people are already very familiar with. Hercules Audio already released this year one of the one of the stars of this year's in terms of IEMs, the Moses. Moses obviously very much appreciated for its bassy, engaging, and yet very detailed and technical signature. And the Noah, in a way, some people like to describe it as a mini Moses. I don't think it's as bassy as the Moses, and I don't think, obviously, it doesn't have as much of a upper treble energy as the Moses, but there is some similarities. It's a fun sound that still manages to give you, that's still balanced enough, basically, to give a bit of everything. Noah, the one thing, Noah is obviously priced under $400.
Yeah.
I would say that the build quality of Noah is unheard of for under $400.
It's pretty amazing, yeah. Full metal build, really nice.
Yeah.
Nozzle shape, even the vents, and the faceplate is quite intricate. It's really nice.
It's a really lovely design. It's essentially more or less the same shell as Moses.
Yeah.
Obviously not titanium, not yet. We will talk about that later because there is another IEM that's coming with a titanium shell that's priced really, really well as well. This is not the final cable. The final cable is going to be black. So sorry for everyone who thought there would be a blue special cable. We don't think there will be one. So, but Noah is going to come with a dongle. So that's great for people who just want to use it straight from the phone. I still recommend using something, but if you want to use it on the go from the phone, Noah will come with a cable. And yeah, again, great build, great sound, really lovely for the price. It's a clear winner, and it has been one of the most popular IEMs in both CanJam Singapore and CanJam London.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure that many people will be trying this next week in SoCal. Next is the YU9. Again, as I said, this is another disruptive IEM. People who know me and who know us know that we do not like statements such as "this is the kilobuck killer" and "this will kill." It's this one is the exception. This one is an IEM that actually I think punches way above the price point in terms of technicalities. It is a referencey sounding IEM, which means that to me, to my ears, for example, it does have quite a bit of treble energy. The other thing I would say about the Ch is that the bass, it doesn't graph bassy at all.
Yeah.
But because of the quality of the bass, it goes really deep. And as a result, when you have a really, when you have a track with a really nice bass impact, you're gonna get it. And a lot of people who bought Ch have commented, that they were surprised by the bass. To me, the one thing that I find exceptional in the Ch is the treble, not just the treble extension, but it's the control and the linearity of that extension. When you look at the graph again, you can see that there is no really major peaks or dips above 8 kilohertz, which with one dynamic driver and 3 BAs. So both Noah and the Ch are one dynamic plus 3 BAs.
Right.
But obviously different sounds, different technologies, quite complementary, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the one caveat with the Ch is people who are very sensitive to lower treble might want to be careful or cautious. I don't know. But so far we don't have really any major complaints. It's an exceptional IEM for the price.
It has, I think it has very impressive sort of dynamics in the low end.
Absolutely.
And again, that's one thing that you won't see on the measurements.
Yeah, I think Ch dynamics are just excellent overall. It's a very there is a sense of freedom and of impact in the sound across the frequency response. It's not just limited to the bass, and that has some technology, because I think that the Ch is actually some kind of a tubeless design,
right? Which
may or may not be the reason for that, but it's definitely there is a sense of the dynamics are excellent on this one. And just when we thought these two were gonna just redefine everything, we got more basically. And the one IEM that's the most recent in terms of that's arrived recently, that has surprised me, and I wrote about it, so you can find our impressions on our website, is the Zigat in collab with Hangout Audio, the Odyssey 2, right? And again, I'm not gonna talk too much about this, because we published our thoughts, and I think by now there is about 1 million reviews on YouTube. But amazing, lovely metal shell, really nice, what I would still consider as being a reference tuning, but with a really nice bass impact. It's a clear, it's a nice follow-up, let's say, to the original Odyssey. I know that you like the original Odyssey a lot.
I do, yeah, big fan of the original. I think it was a tuning that's not too common under that sort of $300-ish dollars or price segment. But yeah, this is full metal shell as well, so quite different to the original.
It's full metal shell, not metal faceplate.
Oh yes,
but that's all right. I mean, it's I like it actually. I think the design is lovely. This is not the stock cable. The stock cable is quite pretty as well. Can you get it? So the stock cable is black and green, and it has swappable terminations, multi-plug. So that's pretty cool for the price again.
Yeah, good value proposition for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not much to say about this other than it's a very solid reference IEM.
Yeah.
And people who know me again and know how I like reference, to me, reference sound does not mean no bass. Reference sound means, like Europa, for example, is my definition of a reference sound. And this kind of follows a similar lines in terms of there is still a lot of bass impact, and it's punchy and full sounding, but you're not really losing on details, or dynamics or anything really. I don't think you're losing anything. You're getting a lot of fun and still a very accurate and natural sounding. For me, I guess when I was comparing Audeze to Audeze 2, I would say that the male vocals, for example, and female vocals both sounded more real on the Audeze 2.
Right.
Which I think is a result, a bit more forward. So the original Audeze presentation was like a bit more kind of, a bit more, it's like kind of Helios SE versus Europa. It's like one of them is a bit more laid back and, whereas the other one is a bit more forward, but it's also punchier. This is great. I mean, this is absolutely great. Easy recommendation. It is going to be, for the time being, sorry for everyone else, but it is going to be my default recommendation for $250. As in, if someone comes and says, I have $250 to spend, or £200, where do I start? This would be the starting point for me. There's still a lot of other great IEMs in that price range.
Yeah.
The Volume S is great. The Da Vinci is great. I love Da Vinci still. But this is a good kind of baseline sound.
Yeah.
That's hence the word reference. I mean, reference is, has to be referenced. There was another one I wanted to talk about quickly. This is an IEM that I tried briefly, or I tried an earlier prototype in Singapore, and I was surprised because this is a brand that is usually associated with cables.
Yes.
Nice HCK. I love their cases, by the way. They make some of the nicest. The carry cases that they ship with their cables are great for IEMs. This is the Rockies. And it's around $500. It is $500 actually. I don't think doesn't seem to be a collab, or it's not disclosed anyway. Again, lovely build. The faceplate is actual rock. It's
right.
Yeah. And again, this is another. Sorry, you're gonna hear the word reference a lot today, but this is another reference tuning. I definitely don't hear it as bassy, this one.
Right.
But I like the treble. It's, again, smooth and detailed. The fit is lovely. The cable is very nice. Obviously, it's a cable company, so, very, very nice cable with the Rockies. And again, even with Noah and YU9 and Che being in the picture, this is still relevant.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, great matchup. Other things that we've seen, Dita Prelude is great for the price. The recent Crinier Daybreak release is also very, very good, and it's been doing very well. Again, we are seeing the Daybreak is, again, variations on the meta tuning, I guess. But again, the Daybreak is, really lovely shell, excellent build. Very smooth and but still technical sound. Daybreak and Prelude are probably kind of the references at the moment, around that price point, $150. We are testing currently another IEM from Korea, which is the Yukotech RE3 Pro, and I don't know where that is, and I'm sorry, but that one is more of a, I would say, is more of a. Actually, it may have some similarities with the Prelude, where it's lovely metal build, single dynamic driver, and kind of a pro tuning,
right?
As in sub bass over anything else. and focusing on technicalities and details. So that's
I was going to say, like, I think the Prelude has really an exceptional build. My goodness, unbelievable! I haven't seen anything like it at that price point.
When I was in Singapore and I knew that Dita was releasing a new flagship, and the first IEM I saw was the Prelude, and I thought that was the flagship because it's a great metal build. Obviously, the Dita flagship, the new Dita flagship, Ventura, will be released very soon. So hopefully we will have that here, soon enough to test it. We had a prototype at Kanjam Singapore, or kind of more of a pre-release version because it was already quite advanced.
In London, right?
In London, yes.
London as well.
Yes. So it's a flavor. At single dynamics at that price point is a niche within the niche. But the build again is great. The fit was, I would say, was a bit divided between people. Yeah. Some people could have a lovely fit, and some people struggled a bit with it. But so yeah, we will be sharing more thoughts on that when we get it. The other stars at Kanjam London, we will start with 7 Acoustics, Asteria, and Asteria is now, starting to ship, and people are starting to listen to it and share impressions. There's been already a lot of people on our Discord who have Asteria and have been very impressed with it. And this is just an impressive IEM. I would say, to me, it sounds like a kind of a U-shaped tuning where the bass is full and quite fun, actually. And then there is quite a bit of treble energy and detail. Maybe tonally, I personally, for my personal preferences, maybe I would want a little bit more kind of maybe lower mids in the mix or mids in the mix. I don't know.
Okay.
But honestly, this is not a criticism. I love this thing. It is very hard to drive. It's as hard to drive as Storm, which is quite the achievement. So well done, 7 Acoustics. The build is lovely, and this scales like crazy. So basically, it's kind of similar story to Storm. Yes, Bobby, it is the butterfly. Oops. So this is very hard to drive, but it will reward you when you give it proper amplification. We will be talking about amps soon. I'm excited in a bit, actually. But yeah, this scales a lot. Synergy is obviously important. Tip rolling. I cannot stress the importance of tip rolling enough for anyone. Obviously, you guys who are watching us right now know that already. But this is for people who will watch maybe later. Please tip roll the IEMs before looking at any other upgrades. Once you tip roll, then look at all the rest, cables and sources and things like that.
Absolutely. Tips are very important.
Yes. They change the sound, they change the comfort, obviously, but most importantly, they do shape the sound.
Yes.
So Asteria is nothing new. We showcased Asteria prototype last year at Kanjam London.
Yes.
And it was already one of the stars. I mean, it was already one of the favorites with APX SE. And I have to say, very accomplished IEM. Very reasonably priced. I know, I shouldn't be saying this kind of thing, but for what you're getting,
yes,
and the technology that's in there, and we know, we love brands like 7 Acoustics, where it's a very small operation.
Yeah.
Same with the YU9, by the way, very small operation, and people who are really passionate. These guys took their time with Asteria. They could have released it last year after Kanjam London because the feedback was great, but they wanted to fine tune, they wanted to improve it, and to go the extra mile with the build, with the sound, and it's awesome, and it's limited. So these are gonna become collector items in the near future. But again, when you're spending this kind of money, we do not recommend blind buying. I know it's hard. I know for some people that's the only way to go about it. But with flagship IEMs, or even in general any IEMs, but when you're spending this kind of money,
it becomes even more important and critical.
Exactly. To make sure the fit is right, to make sure the sound is right. I am yet to find a single IEM that everybody agrees on, meaning everybody loves. There are IEMs that kind of, are more or less appreciated by most people or respected by most people, but that doesn't mean that they are loved by everyone. But again, Asteria, excellent. I mean, it's not just excellent. We're talking creme de la creme. This is, top of the crop stuff. And then, of course, Mysticraft, which is our friend Lee's new adventure. We've talked about Lee before, and he's someone that we've been working with for a few years now. Oh yes, Hex and Myth both. And Lee is a creative genius. He's someone who, I respect his creative energy. He's someone who's always looking to improve his designs, to experiment with new things. He doesn't
settle.
No, he doesn't settle. And it's a good and it's a good thing and a problem for him, I'm sure, because when you have that kind of creative mind, you're always thinking about how you can improve and how you can do better. For us as the public, it means that we get treated to some really exceptional stuff. And at the moment, Hex, the Mysticraft Hex. So this is the final retail unit. No, this is not our unit. This is a customer unit that's being loaned to us today. But we wanted to show the final design. I mean, there's plenty of nice pictures online. One of our customers actually shared the great pictures on Headphone and on our Discord. It's so Hex is one of those super flagships. It's interesting because Hex, what strikes me with Hex is that the base shelf is, let's say, generous.
Yeah.
It's a basic iron, but at the same time, it has one of the most textured and detailed treble responses out there. Is very smooth. You can crank it, but it's not harsh. There's no peaks of any kind. This is a fun IEM, but still one of the in terms of that treble and the staging, still one of the most technical IEMs out there. The build, as you would expect, some people asked why does Hex have a resin shell, right? It's like, you're paying a lot of money. Why is it a resin shell and not full metal? And the answer is basically that, Lee wanted to showcase the craftsmanship inside.
Yeah.
So as maybe you can see, probably not, but the dynamic driver chamber has a nice engraving on it. There's all kinds of details and little things on the faceplate. I'm losing my voice, sorry. But basically, the resin shell is for you to look inside and see the work. And it's a hex grid, so there's like 6 types of drivers, and it's so clean inside. You wouldn't be able to it's just so clean. I'm a fan of that. Some people would have preferred a full metal faceplate shell, maybe, but I like it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's just incredible that you can see the intricacies and the layout of the drivers. There's there's hardly anyone on the planet who would even dare to do 6 different driver types, and to pull it off the way he did is quite an astonishing achievement.
Yes.
And one thing, for an IM, to have that boosted low end response, to still have that incredible resolution is quite extraordinary.
Yes, it is. It's an achievement, because usually that kind of base quantity can muddy things up a
Absolutely,
bit.
yeah.
There's no mud with Hex. It's just voluptuous sounding, but It doesn't interfere with how clear the mids are. It doesn't interfere with the treble. It doesn't interfere with the staging. But it's a colored IEM. So again, this is a flavor, and like all flavors, some people will like that, some people will not like it as much. But it's a flavor. And talking about full metal, full titanium metal shell. So the other Mysticraft IEM that is currently, we are all waiting for it. And to all the people who asked us, no, we do not have a unit at the moment yet. We will probably have one soon to measure and showcase and try. I'm not going to comment too much on Myth Sound for the simple reason that the only place where I tried Myth was Kanjam.
Yeah.
And I do not trust my own Kanjam impressions.
Yes.
Because of all the excitement, fatigue, noise, etc., etc. One thing is sure about Myth is that a full titanium shell for $1,000. It looks great. I mean, the design again is great. The sound, what I can say is that I preferred this version, Kanjam London, to the Singapore one.
Right.
The early prototype, and it's been refined. In fact, even Hex Retail was refined compared to the Kanjam Singapore version.
Yes.
And it's not subtle. It's quite a significant refinement. So yeah, we are excited to see what's next from Mysticraft. Wink, wink. And yeah, Myth is coming soon. I'm sure it's gonna it's gonna be very exciting. Another one. So Hex, do we have anything else to cover in terms of IEM? There is a few things that I'm not gonna talk too much about the sound, but I think the design kind of deserves a nod. This is a thanks to Taranko from Subtonic for pointing this out to me. He tried this IEM at HKAV, I think, and he liked it. And he, we just got it in last week. This is the, I don't want to say this wrong because I always confuse it. It's the Palavox Akasha. It's an IEM that looks like it was made in India, but it's actually not. This is a lovely, lovely bit. These are the same guys who are behind the Art Pickle brand.
Yes.
And we have the Art Pickle lineup here. Maybe we can show Lucifer as well. So the one thing about this brand, the two brands actually, is that they are not trying to be, So these guys are not trying to be subtle. They are very artistic, very creative, and they want their designs to be out there. And the Art Pickle sound from very early impressions again is definitely out there. The Lucifer is a V-shaped IEM. It's a fun IEM. The Michael again is kind of a V or W, however you want to describe it. It kind of reminded me of the Campor 54E.
Right.
Kind of. There is a vibe, but obviously it's a very different. It's a tribrid, very different configuration. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about the Akasha sound for the time being. The graph is on the squig, but lovely cable made by Flash Acoustics, our friend Ice. Again, this design, you're going to love it or hate it. There's no middle ground here. I love the shell design. The 2-pin connectors with the encrusted opals or whatever they are. It looks good. It's nice. It's maybe a bit much for me, but it blends in nicely with the rest of the IEM. So Akasha will retail at around $4,000. It's coming soon, and we will be working with Art Pickle. We're excited to work with them. They are very Again, this is not a brand that's aiming for a reference sound at this point. Maybe Akasha is different though. Maybe Akasha is aiming for a more referencey sound. Right. But the Art Pickle range is definitely not.
And the Akasha has titanium shells, right?
Yes, it's a titanium shell.
Really, really well made, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of build quality, And actually, the one thing I can say already about Akasha is that the shell looks very kind of, it's very unusual.
It is. Their shell design is not, again, it's
very round,
very hard to show you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to say unique shell shape.
Definitely unique.
I don't think I've seen it before.
Yeah.
And it works for quite a few people who've tried it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The thing is, like, when you look at this, you're like, oh my God, this is just going to be uncomfortable. It is not. It is super comfortable. It is really easy to fit.
A lot of contouring.
Yes. So the way they did the obviously the inner part, the part that goes against your ear, is really lovely. And the fit on this is great. So, all right, so half an hour in, I think that's it for IEMs, unless I forgot something. Sorry if I forgot something. I guess we can move to headphones and
headphones,
bigger things.
So actually, what we have behind me, there we go. So that is the ESLab ES2A. So ESLab, in case you guys don't know, is a company from Hong Kong, and the guy behind it is a bit of a wizard, Benson. So he got his, he earned respect and got a lot of credit for offering repairs on electrostatic headphones. Got so good at it that he was like, you know what, I think I can make my own E-stat headphones. And this is his, I think, his fourth or third electrostatic headphone. And as you can see from the colorway and the shell color, it is, I think it's a lovely color. It's this sort of kind of a gold, brown, green sort of mixture. It's very comfortable. It's got large cups and large pads. It is quite lightweight. I think it's actually lighter than the ES1A that was before it. But it is, it is a homage to the great Stax Omega headphone. And I think when I did the YouTube short on that headphone, it's a headphone that will surprise quite a few people, especially those who've heard other, electrostatic headphones, because I don't, I don't hear it as, bright or peaky or spicy in the treble. It is quite a balanced signature with quite a large image, and the bass extension on that headphone, it's just remarkable. It is really quite something. It's a very, very good headphone, and I think, as I said in the short, it could be the E-stat for the masses. So yeah, he did a great job there.
Yeah, so that's what I like about it, is that it's an E-stat headphone that sounds like a headphone. and what I mean by that is that when you listen to it, you're not necessarily thinking, oh, it's obviously an E-stat. It does have the E-stat kind of, that treble extension and the detail and the texture, and but it has some body and warmth as well.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very light again. Yes, the build is lovely. I like it, and but again, I like with E-stats, I kind of tend to prefer the ones that have some body. Obviously HE1, of course, but also the Lambda Nova signature. Yeah, that one is
has a bit of warmth as well.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that one. So that's one of my favorite E-stats. So definitely this was, again, there's a lot happening with E-stats. People who saw at Kanjam know that we are working on something. We're not going to say too much maybe today here, but people who are visiting SoCal next week will see some of that as well. Just visit the Audeze booth. They may or may not have something from us. And but yeah, definitely there's been a few things going on with the E-stats, and also the other E-stat that was popular.
The Halo Acoustics, is it EH?
Halo, it's Halo, yeah. So HALO.
Yeah, Halo Acoustics, I think it's EH1?
EH1.
EH1.
Yeah, that's correct.
So we don't have it out here, but it's so I think they're a fairly new company from China, right?
Yes.
And it's an extremely lightweight electrostatic headphone, like shockingly light. I mean, it's probably like 250 grams or something. It's crazy how light it is.
And it's going to be light on the wallet.
Exactly. It's really, really good value.
Yeah. So the pricing hasn't been fully confirmed yet. I think it was $600 or $800.
It was quoted at around 600 with the basic sort of Easter amp, which again is a great package.
Yes. So it comes with it will come. So basically the people who heard this in London, the London again, I liked it as well. Again, similar thing. It's actually maybe slightly rolled off in the treble for an E-Stat.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's more forgiving, and it's a tuning that will again surprise people, especially those who are used to sort of more traditional entry-level electrostatic headphones.
Yes,
it is not that not that sort of thin or bright sound, and the comfort is amazing.
Oh, it's one of the lightest headphones you will ever find. And we gave, obviously we collected some feedback in London. We gave the feedback to Halo, and they said that basically the final retail version will be improved in terms of build. But I mean, we only had one small comment on the build, which was the grill.
Oh, the outer mesh grill.
Yeah, the outer mesh grill was a little bit maybe flimsy,
maybe a bit too soft.
A bit too soft, and they said they were improving that. And we said the treble, okay, we can't really criticize something in that price point too much when it's good already. But they said that they were actually working on improving the treble extension. So that would be welcome news.
And the feedback from CanJam London on that headphone was people loved it. Yes. Quite a lot of people loved it, and I'm talking people who have quite a few flagship Easter headphones. They were like, "Wow, where did this come from?" And we were like, "We said the same thing. Like, where this came out of nowhere. It's pretty amazing."
Yes, and again, this is a new brand, but I think I hope I'm not revealing secrets here. I don't think so, but they are working on a kind of a flagship, basically. So there will be more from them in the future. Yeah,
cool. So there's a couple more headphones. There was the Meze 105 Silva, which I think it looks amazing.
Yes, I know.
It's there. So, oops. No, it's got a mind of its own thing. I'll move it closer.
It's fast and that's cool. I'll move it. So you need to do this, and then it stops.
Yes, I think it's stopped now because the lights changed.
Oh, okay. Now we're. Oh no! Oh no! It's doing it again. It's following me.
There you go. That's it. When it turns green, it stops following.
All right.
So the Meze. So the Meze 105 Silva. Obviously, it's part of the new 105 series, and it's the next one up from the 105 Air. I think it looks amazing. Unlike the Air, this one's actually made in Romania with the I think is it walnut wood? I think it's used. A slightly different sound to the Air. I find it a little bit more refined, especially in the top end. But again, the comfort. Oh my god, it's amazing. And it's not many people know this, but it's a headphone that comes with their new braided cable and a dongle.
Okay.
It's a headphone that comes with a dongle, so it's pretty easy to power. Obviously, maybe it's not obvious, but it will improve with better performing gear. That doesn't always mean more expensive. It usually does, but
it's interesting the trend we are seeing now with dongles. Actually, the Dita Prelude as well
comes with a dongle. Yes,
comes with a nice dongle. Yeah. Obviously, Noah will come with a dongle.
Yes,
and now we are with headphones. Why not? Right? Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice touch from the manufacturers who do include a dongle, because you know, imagine if you got that for someone as a gift and they're new to the hobby, they may have forgotten that or that aspect or something. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Was Alba the first like budget IEM with the dongle? I think it was the first one. So that's thanks Meze. That's a nice trend you said there.
Absolutely.
You know, is very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it looks good. The Silva, I haven't spent too much time with it myself. I like it. Do I like it more than the Murph one or the Lenses Pro for that kind of similar price range?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but I like it. And yeah, the build is of course is always it's Meze, so
yeah.
you know you're gonna get a good looking and comfortable headphone.
Yeah. And then the last headphone I want to talk about is the fairly new Audeze LCD S20. It's a closed-back Pro headphone. It's up there. Yeah. It is, just be wary. It is not a lightweight headphone. So there it is. Thank you. So there it is. It's the really nice build. I think it weighs about 570 grams, something like that.
Oh my!
So it's got some weight to it. It does look like an open back. It isn't. This is just like some sort of cloth covered hiccup. And this is the first Audeze ever. And again, congrats to them for finally doing it with magnetic pads.
I didn't know that.
So that's quite the big deal. And I hope they they do that.
Can everyone please do that?
Yes, please.
And Pentacon connectors. Everyone should do that.
Exactly. IEM people, Pentacon.
IEM people, please switch to Pentacon.
Headphone people, magnetic pads.
Yes. And we're going to talk about DACs later. There's one more for the DACs.
Exactly. So this headphone, it is a Pro headphone. I am quite the fan of this headphone, actually. It needs quite a bit of power. So whether there's current, gain, I'm not too sure what the combination is, but it does need a bit of juice. So just be wary of that, you Pro people who are going to run it off a bus-powered interface. It does need some power. However, the thing that shocked me the most, by the way, I don't know if you can see it or not, it does have like these vents. So 2 vents per cup over there. So again, it may leak a little bit of sound if you crank it. Please don't crank the volume, guys. But yeah, in case you do, it may leak a little bit. But
don't what?
But the LCD S20, what aspects that I was quite taken by surprise and I really love is the sub bass. The sub bass performance on that thing, man alive, it is really, really good fun. Rumbly, good power. I was again quite surprised from a closed back planar to have that. But I can see it. It is a rival to the Focal Lenses Pro. Obviously, they're both Pro headphones. The S20 is a bit cheaper. They do different things. Lenses Pro is lighter, it falls flat, it's dynamic drivers, way easier to power.
Yeah.
Whereas the Audeze, it's chunky. I would say of the two, it has slightly smoother treble, but it does have more, definitely more upper mids than the Lenses Pro. But I think the Lenses Pro actually sounds a bit more expansive.
I
they're rivals for sure.
Yeah, I generally find the Lenses. The first time I tried the Lenses Pro, I didn't actually. I didn't know it was a closed back necessarily, and I wouldn't have guessed. Like, as in, for an open back, it doesn't sound super open, but for a closed back, it's really the stage is great on it.
Yes.
Still, yeah. Lenses Pro is just it's a tough challenger because of the form factor. You can fold it and travel with it. But again, this is planar magnetic. Lovely build. I love the build. It's really cool. There's definitely some elements from the Maxwell, which took some elements from the MM500 and MM100.
Yeah.
So I love that the kind of design language that where Audeze is going. The weight is what it is. 570 grams is
something like that.
It's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world. Sorry, it's still more manageable than the LCD4, which is the headphone that I've always wanted to own, but the weight stops me every time. Every time I find an LCD4, I'm like, oh my god, I want this, and I'm like, no, I can't. Yeah, very cool.
Cool. I think that's it for the headphones. Yeah.
There we go. So now we can move to the main event, which is the amplification, and let's start with the portable stuff. So in terms of portable stuff, a lot's been happening. We talked about the Cayin RU9 after Singapore, but it was not released yet at that point. So the RU9 is now out, and obviously it's very popular. People are loving it. The battery life would be, it's the one thing where it's not the best. The battery life is not the longest. But again, you have the tube mode. Oh, how would you compare it
to the XC? The XC is leaner sounding. I find it has a lot more top end energy. It does improve a lot with EQ, of course. Audeze headphones they take to EQ very well. They have very low THT. But yeah, sorry.
No, sure. So yeah, RU9, Cayin, again, C9. They've been doing a great job this year with the C9 and now the RU9. They're just releasing the N7 Plus, which essentially, for people in our community who know about our mods, the N7 Plus does sound like a mod of the N7 with a better amplification, longer battery life. The body is lovely, the new chassis. We will see about that when we get it, and of course the N6 III. But let's stick with the DAC amps, one of my favorite categories. The other one that's coming soon, very soon, is the Questyle Sigma, and this is the Questyle Sigma. It is pretty much it's an upgrade of the CMA 18P, but in my opinion, it's not a marginal upgrade. So they changed. So the CMA 18P, if you look here in the amplification circuit, the CMA 18P was using what Questyle called SIP chips or something.
The modules,
yeah.
SIP modules.
So it was essentially Questyle's own way of doing op-amp amplification, whereas this one is a fully discrete amplification stage, and it's also more powerful, and this makes a big difference. I find this to be a clear upgrade to the CMA 18P, which I liked and I own, and I even had one modded, and this still sounds better than my modded CMA 18P.
That's quite the achievement by Questyle.
Yes, it's a powerful DAC amp. It can drive Europa with no problems. It does struggle a little bit with Storm, but it will drive pretty much any IEM very well. And Questyle also addressed the other end of the spectrum, which is the sensitive IEMs. So they also added an IEM mode. So essentially, this has 4 gain modules if you want. You have like the super sensitive, and then so you have an IEM mode with low gain and high gain, and then you have a headphone mode with low gain and high gain.
Right.
And essentially, the headphone mode is more powerful than the IEM mode. They removed the analog input output.
Okay.
Because this is kind of now, where the CMA 18P, they were saying, oh, it's for both audiophiles and pro people. This is more firmly directed towards audiophiles. And then the upcoming Questyle Sigma Pro will be for professionals.
Okay.
Or more, that's the one, it's a bit bigger. That's the one that is directed at both audiophiles and pro people. But this is great. Again, another easy recommendation, to be honest. Good battery life, good power, fits in a pocket. People in our community know that my main battle at the moment, or no, it's not a battle, but my main agenda. Let's put it this way, and I'm gonna be nagging everyone I know until someone does it, is to do what Hyphaman did a long time ago, with the HM1000. The HM1000 was way ahead of its time, in my opinion. And the funny thing is, I found out about it only this year, like how good it is. But in retrospect, it was way ahead of its time. It's a portable DAC amp that supported LDAC. It has line out, it has single-ended, even balanced 3.5, sorry, and 4.4. It has line out, and then the most important thing, it has an SD card support, which means that this is not a screen; it's just a DAC amp. And so basically, the HM1000 had there was an app, or kind of an app that I think that initially Hyphaman put the SD card to allow people to upgrade the software.
Right.
And then
so it wasn't originally intended for like offline.
I don't know. I don't know. But then basically there was an app that was built, which is called Hi-Fi Man Remote, that never left the beta stage, as far as I know. But the app works. It still works on my Android phone, and that means that you have this in your pocket, and then you can control your playback from the phone. So it's a DAP. It's essentially, it's as if you have a DAP, but the screen is in your phone.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is, right? And I tried to convince Clark from QLS to put that in the MUB1. You guys know how much I love the MUB1, and in fact, the MUB1 was undefeated in my pocket until I bought this. But this is secondhand and hard to find. And then I tried to convince Clark to put it in the MUB5, which is the upcoming QLS portable.
Transportable, right?
Or it's still portable. I will still classify MUB5. Let's talk about it a bit, because it's kind of a big deal in my opinion. We had the opportunity to showcase the MUB5 and test it properly during CanJam London. Not as much as I would have liked to, but it will be released very soon, within the next week or two, basically. MUB5 pictures are there's a lot of pictures online, and the
build is amazing.
The build is amazing. It's obviously bigger than this. The size is comparable to the Hebe R6 Pro 2, which is essentially not very thick but quite tall.
Yeah.
It still fits in most pockets. It will definitely fit in Bobby's pockets. And it's just an exceptional device. It's definitely, in a nutshell, it kind of performs on the level of the XD05 Pro, even after mod.
That's pretty amazing.
I know.
That's pretty amazing.
It fits in the pocket. You can take it with you, right? And my modded XD05 Pro has been my main setup at home for IEMs, like over the past 6 months or so. It's more than enough. For IEMs, it's a desktop grade, even for Storm. With the, and I listen loud. With the XD05 Pro, I'm at 40 volume maybe, and I'm with Storm, and so MUB5 performs on a comparable level to a modded XD05 Pro, but it has a few more features. It has variable line out. It's small.
It's an R2R ladder DAC, right?
It's an R2R ladder DAC, but XD05 Pro is getting an R2R ladder DAC. So
hopefully soon.
In fact, at the moment, it seems like half of the portables and transportables being released have an R2R ladder DAC. So Ibasso is releasing one, obviously MUB5, and Clark said he had reasons. Actually, Clark was, I think, experimenting with an AKM DAC chip, right, with the 4499 EX. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's a flagship.
But then he found something that essentially made him go, you know what? I'm just gonna design. Oh yeah, Storm is very thirsty.
Yes, Storm needs quite a bit of current.
So the MUB5, really good build quality, volume wheel, and volume wheel built the right way.
Yes.
Also, the outputs are on the same side as the volume wheel, which is great. Great piece of that's good design. That's how Luxury and Precision do it. That's how Lotu do it. The Nipo N2 does it. The Astel & Kern SP4000 does it. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit in a bit. But yeah, MUB5, highly anticipated. The pricing is not fully confirmed yet, but it's under $1,500. And it's as a transportable is going to be the one to beat in my opinion. But again, there's a couple coming from Ibaso, etc. Hey Bogdan, nice to see you.
Oh hey,
Bogdan is right on time because we're about to switch. So let me wrap up the portable side. The Nipo A100. This is not a Bluetooth DAC amp.
Wired only.
But it's very small. As you can see, it's pretty much credit card size. Just it's not thick at all. And it has the MagSafe function, which means
let's do a live demo.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And it worked. A live demo worked, guys. There we go.
Yes. Yeah, it didn't fail. Now the MagSafe works great. This is super powerful. It's Nipo. Obviously, the N2. Is one of the best DAPs released this year. I like the N2 a lot. Very powerful DAP.
It changes with burn-in, right?
It changes like crazy with burn-in. And we're not usually we know that DACs and amps change with burn-in.
Yes.
Usually it's like they open up a little, the character changes. So with the N2, it was like a transformation. It was like from a larva into the butterfly. So
yes, into Asteria.
This is great. Again, easy recommendation if you want this kind of format. 4.4 and 3.5 output. Really good design, lovely build, very sturdy. This is what I like about DAC amps. When I'm carrying a DAP in my pocket, there's a big screen, and it's kind of not like phones, because with phones, like the phone is quite thin, but with the DAPs, because they are chunky and heavy, you know that any impact is gonna be brutal on that screen. So with DAC amps, the fact that I don't have to worry about the screen, I can be like holding it like this and not be worried. So.
And one less thing to go wrong, obviously, without a screen.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you guys can see that. I just want to quickly show you the machining on this metal.
Yeah,
it's quite lovely. Very slim, and you can get it in 3 different leather finishes.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is a long live, man. We're 1 hour in. We haven't even talked about DACs and amps, like the big ones yet.
Yes.
But yeah, this is great. Been very popular as well. So in other big, like kind of big portable, Astel & Kern SP4000. In a nutshell, I'm not gonna go too much because I'm not a DAP specialist really, but it's my favorite Astel & Kern so far. They added the high drive mode, which is appreciated. Thank you, Astel & Kern. It does not sound the thing I like about the SP4000, and it's there in the SP3000 MCN as well, but even more so in the SP4000, is that it's a true. It sounds like a quiet reference and neutral sounding source.
The tonality.
Yes, it's not overly smoothed out. I found the SP3000 a little bit maybe smoothed out, but the SP4000 is not smoothed out. The SP4000 is a big boy.
It is. It has some weight also, guys. Just heads up for you.
So I don't know where
it's
yeah, but it's the SP4000 is very capable, quite big. The competition apparently now is going to be the upcoming Hibi RS8 II, which is going to be announced next week. All right, enough with the portable. Let's move to the big boys. Well, let's start with the small big boy. Or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's do it with the there we go.
So this is the smallest of the big boys we're going to be talking about today. This is it's not a new brand, But these are not the stock feet, by the way. We added these in order to not have metal on metal. It's becoming to be a problem in this showroom. So this is a new brand from China called Fangsound. This is their small DAC amp called Silenos. This is using an R2R ladder DAC, and it's using the GaN-FET technology for the amplification.
Yes.
And when you hear these two things, what you imagine is a smooth organic sound and a very powerful but small amplifier that does not get hot. Well, two of these things are true. One is not.
We keep it real here, guys.
Two of these things are true. Number one, Fangsound, I don't know how they're doing this. This is the body of this amp is built from a single piece of aluminium.
Yes.
That's CNC, and you can see how intricate the heat sinks and the are.
Even the lettering. Look at the lettering, guys. Where's it gone? There's no light.
Yeah.
It's just engraved in. It's just, oh wow.
Again, lovely volume wheel. You get a lot of inputs and outputs. This can actually be used as a DAC. Not sure I'm going to recommend that, but we'll talk about it. It can be used as a DAC amp. So the two things that are true about this, I forgot what are the three things, but the two things that are true is that this is extremely powerful. This is rated at 14 watts at 32 ohms. Insanely
14, guys. That was not a mistake.
Again, people who know us, we don't attach too much importance to those numbers. Yeah. 14, or even if it was 4, it would be impressive. So, but it is extremely powerful. In fact, it is so powerful, even on low gain, that it's a problem for IEMs.
Most IEMs.
IEMs.
Yeah, most IEMs.
Like, I mean, I can crank this with Europa at like 9 o'clock on the volume, on the down.
On low.
Yeah, on low gain. And it's brutally powerful. We spoke to Fangsound about this, and essentially it does something. So when you connect a phone or a DAC, it takes over the volume control. And so essentially when you change the volume on the phone or the DAC, so you can basically
attenuate the signal, basically.
Yes. So essentially the way to go about it's not really noisy. I didn't really hear much noise, but it's just very powerful. So the one way to go about it is to have a separate DAC. Maybe that's recommended. You will see why. Or to attenuate the sound at the digital source. So very powerful. The second thing that's true is that this gets barely warmer than the human body.
An amazing achievement, really.
I had this running for 5 days, 24 hours a day, straight. And the temperature never changes, as in running and playing music, right? It does not get even like warm. It just gets barely warmer than my hand. I think it's actually stable at like 38 degrees Celsius, even at full operation. The one thing that's not true about this is the R2R organic sound. It is not. So, again, this is modulated a bit by the upstream digital signal, but there is something in the DAC here that the treble, let's say, is a little bit aggressive, and with Sasvara, for example, it was very bright for Sasvara.
Okay.
The DAC, right? And the amplification side alone is fine, like when you use a separate DAC. So this has XLR in and it has XLR in, so balanced input only. But as an amp, if you want a really affordable, super well-built amp, even if you ignore the DAC part of it,
stage, yeah,
for less than $400, this is should be on the radar, I think.
Yeah, it's quite an achievement. The thing is, like, again, it's going to be very hard to capture and show this on the camera, but it's a screwless design from the side, top, and the front. The only plate is at the bottom. Astonishing machining. The connectors, the sockets are Reen. Some of them are Neutrik, and Reen is a sister company of Neutrik from Liechtenstein. And it has 4.4 and 3.5 and 6.3 and 4-pin XLR.
Yeah.
On all 3 amps, which you're
Yes.
going to see in a minute. And then the other thing, so this one is a preamp. It's a balanced preamp via 4.4, which again is a fantastic touch. I don't know how they squeezed all the ins and outs on this tiny chassis. And the to use it as a DAC, it is USB-C only.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is quite the achievement for such a tiny thing.
It is quite the achievement, and I don't want to be too critical.
Yeah.
But this is when we see a brand that's doing something like this, and obviously very advanced engineering, both in terms of build and what's inside. You know, we also want them to. We want to give them feedback. Right?
Of course, yeah.
And we did give some feedback. It's constructive feedback. It's not criticism. It's more of a, hey, we would have loved it. I personally, you know, again, I respect that this is priced under $400. Like, sorry, it's priced just over $400. This for people who are on a budget and for people who want a smaller footprint DAC, you know, this is great. I mean, the competitors are basically the Hibi FD5, and then the Ayun, which
and 7, right?
And 7 with the DAC.
With the DAC.
This is definitely the best build of them.
Oh, that's incredible.
The Hibi is nice, but this, like the machining and the volume, is just crazy good. So we cannot criticize the, you know, and again, you can bypass the DAC, so you don't have to use the built-in DAC. But I think there is more work to be done on the DAC there.
Cool.
But again, this is the small one. Where things get interesting and serious is the small. This is the
mid-range.
The mid-range. So this is called Ariadne
Mark II.
Mark II. Yes, Ariadne Mark II. Again, similar principle. You know, single piece of aluminium. In fact, the whole chassis is held by 4 screws at the bottom. That's it. Incredible build quality for under $2,000. We have never seen something like this in terms of build.
Ever.
This is not us anyway. I mean,
if we just talk about this one, the Ariadne Mark II, in terms of build, design, construction. So here again, I don't know if you can make out the engraving there. There's even more intricate engraving on here, and I think it's Chinese characters.
Yes.
Just over here again, it might be impossible for you guys to see, but oh my lord, the build, construction, craftsmanship. I'm going to say it. This is reference level.
Yes,
and I don't say that often.
Yes, this is in terms of build quality. Like, you know, other brands should take note, because this is you know, the what they did here with the machining for the price.
Just listen to that, guys.
Yes,
it's inert.
You can use this as a self-defense weapon. Absolutely. Easily so, because it's actually, as you can see,
it's got a bit of weight.
The form factor is great because it's quite light. It's not very heavy. The big one is a bit heavier, but so that's the build. But it's not just about the build. This is just a crazy good amplifier. It's rated at quote unquote 20 watts at 32 ohms, whatever that means. But this is the mid-level amp. It's not the most powerful, and it's already one of the most powerful amps we have here. In fact, I haven't really had to use medium gain with almost nothing. Maybe Sosvara and Tungsten, but that's really about it. I mean, low gain is already enough for most things. So Fangsound have developed their own amplification
circuitry and
circuitry. The way they do it is like a triple feedback. I'm not going to claim that I understand all of it, but essentially, and also this is kind of it starts at class A, and then it switches to class AB when the load gets when more power is being required. I did notice, so this is, I would say, my observation with it, I spent quite a bit of time with this and the flagship one, is more warm, I would say warmer than neutral, kind of slightly fuller sounding amplifier. It's something that I like, something that we like here. So it's not it's definitely not a analytical sounding amplifier.
No way.
It's a full sounding amplifier. Again, this unit is new. We got this last week. It's not burned in, but it's definitely a very musical and very powerful amp. With again lots of inputs and outputs. You have the pre-out.
So it's RC. So the preamp is always on, and it's RCA out only. But the inputs, it has XLR, it has RCA, and the same 4 headphone jacks on the front.
Yes.
So just to recap: 3.5, 4.4 mil, 6.3, and 4-pin XLR, and the gain switch is on the front. And there's 3 levels.
Yeah.
So the Selenos was 2.
Yes.
This is 3 levels.
Yes.
Oh, even the volume dial is metal, solid metal.
Yes.
It just, guys. Oh wow.
We have been looking at kind of amps and amp chassis and stuff recently, and when we saw this, it's like, this is crazy. It's just crazy. And then it sounds good, really good. Like,
really, really good.
This is, I was, the main amps I was using to compare this to, I am not saying that it's on the same level exactly or better or anything like that. I'm just saying that I felt the closest to this amp were the Holo Bliss and the SAQ PDA-1B or Morpheus, right? Those are the comparisons that I felt. Maybe the Musco 433 could be one, but I think this is just much more powerful than the 433. Those are the comparisons we are talking about. So, we will have more deeper thoughts on how, on the sound as we listen to them more and as they burn in as well. The big one
is already lit up. There we go.
I'm gonna move out of the way.
There's the dial. There's the light. It has lights, orange lights. I don't know if you can see it behind the volume pot. There you go.
Yeah. So this one has an extra dual balanced output. I don't know how it's called.
So it's the older kind of legacy, the 2 3-pin XLR out for headphones, which the Mascoba amps have.
Yeah.
The DCS Lena amp has, and etc.
So yeah, first impressions are extremely positive. We know that this brand is working on more things, so they're going to release a dongle very soon. Again, quite powerful dongle. I think it's 1 watt or something. So we look forward to testing these more. We will talk about them obviously, because I know this is funny. This brand is like 10 days ago. It was so under the radar.
Yes.
And then over the past week, it seems like the whole world is talking about them. So well done. I mean, obviously
they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve it. And it happened after they went to
CS show, right?
Yeah, CS show. So well done to them.
Absolutely.
We are happy to bring this this to this side of the world. And I love. I mean, obviously, I love the big one. It's just.
So the big one's called Dionysus.
Dionysus.
Yes.
So Silenos, Ariadne, and Dionysus.
Yeah. Some people call it dinosaur.
Yeah, I call it a dinosaur because it's still not that big. I mean, it's still smaller than Bliss.
Yes, it's less wide than the Bliss. And just really quickly on the Dionysus is that you now have a headphone and preamp switch on the front, so you can toggle. And also on the left, next to the power button, you can choose between XLR and RCA input, whereas the other one, you had to choose either one.
Yeah. And 40 watts, rated at 40 watts. Again, whatever that means. I don't know. I mean,
it's like the most, on spec, is it the most powerful headphone amp on the planet?
On spec, probably because
Probably.
previously, but so like we had the Sangra and Silver Fox here, right?
Which is 22 watts.
Which is rated at 22 watts.
Yeah.
But honestly, like the 465 Mascobo is rated at 3.6 or
3.8 or 4 watts.
Yeah. And it's just more powerful. So it doesn't mean anything. But this is a different story. I think personally, in the amps that we have in this room, and at the moment, we have, for God knows what reason, we have collected some, because we're crazy probably, but we have a unbelievable amp collection at the moment. So the Bliss, the amp that's behind Said there is a NV Anniversary in ebony finish. It's stunning.
There you go.
It sounds amazing, right? Over there we have, well, you don't see it, but we have the obviously the Oris Hedonia 300B. Behind me, we have the Oris Ultima KT88. Over there, we have the Cayin Zahl, the SAQ Asteria behind Said as well.
The new flagship, sorry.
The new flagship, yeah. So that's Asteria in the middle.
Yeah.
Again, a lovely amp. I think we would need like maybe 3 months to review all of them if we wanted to. But
oh wow, there we go. Bogdan's saying the 170 HA is 18 watts. Wow.
Yeah, it's also very powerful. So
that's a lot of juice.
You know, these numbers will tell you that it's what I can say personally, how I feel is the Dinosaurs or the Dionysus is probably, along with 465 and Hedonia 300B, is probably one of the top 3 most powerful amps we've had in this room.
Yeah.
Headphone amps, right? We have the Valencia here, which is a power amp made by Orchard Audio in the US.
Yeah,
and
it was designed and to drive specifically to power tungsten.
Tungsten. So this is rated at 17 watts.
Yes.
This is a power amp for headphones, which means it has XLR inputs. It has speaker out, but honestly, I think they are there, but maybe
for convenience, mainly.
For convenience, but if you have super efficient speakers, maybe but then this was designed primarily with headphones in mind, and this is rated at 17 watts. The Dinosaur is just more powerful. I mean, it's just the reality. But the Dinosaur is also much more expensive. This is $2,000. This was again one of the stars at CanJam.
Yeah. Got really good feedback. People were like, "Wow, I've never." It's a rare product.
Yes,
a headphone power amp, guys. That's not common wherever you look.
It's not common at all. There have been a couple were made. I think Headphone Auditions made one last year, small, we people in our community we have been using the Cayin C9 in power amp mode.
That's one, yes.
And I felt that the Cayin C9, I feel that the Cayin C9 and the C9 II are much better that way when you bypass that volume control. So, Valencia, again, super light, super small. Great amp, man. It's nice. This is transparent, really, really cool. So to kind of close the Fangsound, we are super impressed. It is still early impressions, so we've been here for a week testing and understand. Like you have to kind of live with an amp for a while, to really get the gist of it,
the character, what it's doing and how it, what it offers and brings to the table and so on. Yeah, for sure.
We definitely want to try them as preamps.
Yes.
But so far positive, very very positive early impressions.
Also, one last thing I'm going to say with the Fangsound is for those of you who, especially with I would say with the Ariadne, it's not too big, it's not too heavy. If you travel a lot, it has universal voltage, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, this easily fits in many backpacks.
Yeah.
Easily. Even in one of those like hand. That's a good idea for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Have
a nice DAC, carry that in a little thingy, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using a DAC, it's the inputs. It doesn't have 4.4 in, but it's not really supposed to. So that's Fangsound. Before we move, I want to talk quickly about the Ayun.
Yes.
Is that it?
Is this a streamer thingy?
This is the streamer, but
it's the same chassis.
It's the same chassis. Let's say it's the amp.
Yes.
Ignore this antenna here. So Ayun has released essentially it's a small stack. It's the N7, which is the amp, and then there is the N5 Evo, which is the DAC and clock, and then the NC1 is the power supply. No, sorry. The N5 is streamer and DAC, and the NC1 is clock and power supply. So essentially, you have like a cute 3-tier stack.
Yes.
Where you have your streaming, your DAC, and the amplification. It's a concept kind of similar to what we saw from QLS with the 390 QH1 and power supply. We like that stack. This is again very reasonably priced. The amp alone is priced at $400. The amp plus DAC is $500. So in a way, if the Silenos is great for really hard to drive headphones, the Ayun is great for IEMs.
Yes,
it's great for IEMs.
Yes.
It's still
the lower noise floor for sure. Not low.
It's not about the noise floor.
It's the range, the volume. Range.
Exactly. It's like you have more you have more room to play with, especially with sensitive IEMs. The amp, obviously, this is not the amp because there's no output, but the amp has 4.4 and quarter-inch output.
Right.
No XLR. So you can see that it's clearly aiming slightly more towards IEMs, but it's very powerful. Again, it's Ayun did great last year with the Evo, with the S17, sorry, Evo, and S17, and then the Evo version. And this is again great value, very hard to very easy recommendation.
Yeah, nice.
Small footprint as well.
Cool.
So that's the last amp before we move to DACs. Last but not least is the Zahl H1.
Oh yeah.
So you want to talk about this one? I'll hand you this.
So this is it the same size as the HM1?
It's smaller.
Is it slightly smaller?
Yeah, it's smaller than that.
So it's there we go. So slightly smaller than the HM1 without the power supply. This is incredible build, of course, lovely sort of finish. This finish is rare to see on anything in the sort of the headphone space. But we'll talk about what they got rid of, obviously. So this does not have two analog inputs, so two different sort of channels. So it doesn't have two sets of XLRs. It doesn't have two sets of RCAs. There is no preamp section.
Yes.
So that has been removed. And as you can see on the front, they removed the bass and treble EQ, which were done in increments of 1.5 decibels anyway. So it wasn't ultra precise with those sort of bass and treble tilts.
If you want EQ, get this.
There you go, the EQ one. There you go. So that's a great combo. So, however, it now has three different sort of input gain options. You have -10, 0, and +10.
Yes.
That is a big deal because the HM1 was 0 or +15.
Right.
Now, +15, you basically can't use that with any DAC because you're going to get clipping. Right. But again, it's probably more designed for pro stuff.
Yeah.
However, this now has the 4.4 jack.
Yes.
The balance socket on the front, which is pretty amazing. So, and the other thing which again, if you dig deep enough, you will find it as well. The noise floor was reduced in this because there's less circuitry, there's less components.
Right. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's not just the lower gates; also the noise floor.
No, the noise floor was lowered anyway.
Yeah.
So this is a world class app. Really.
All right, I'll talk about this while Said gets whoever is ringing. So. The big difference with this is that it's now great for IEMs. We've been using HM1 as our kind of HM1 has really been our reference amp for the past year. We use it to compare DACs because of the dual analog input. It's great to compare DACs. It's very transparent and refined at the same time, which means that it's great to test any headphones or IEMs we have, because you know that there's just no coloration, but at the same time, it's still engaging and still full sound. Like, this is just a outstanding amplifiers. Oh yes, is the legends also the HM1 and H1.
Yes, the Zahl amps are pretty legendary.
The H1 now, I think that basically Zahl realized that they were getting popular with audiophiles, which is something that Zahl was, maybe not aware of. And this is designed for audiophiles. Thank you, Marcus. This is now just great for testing. It's great with IEMs. There's no HM1 did have some noise floor. We're very popular this afternoon. So the HM1 did have some noise floor with some IEMs, even not the most easy to drive IEMs. This doesn't. This is smaller. And again, the fact that it doesn't require a separate power supply anymore. So it's, you just plug it in like any other amplifier. Cameron Golden Sound already did an extensive review of this. So there's no, it's pretty much, this is just, it doesn't need any more introduction, really. It's just a great, efficient, and you can see it's quite small. So the footprint is not that big. This is exceptional. I'm going to wait for Said if he has any closing remarks about the H1.
No, that's pretty much it, really. It is a world-class amp.
It's a world-class amp, but nothing new there, to be honest. So thanks to Zahl for listening to the audiophile community. I know that the audiophile community, including Cameron, myself, we are asking Zahl to work on a version of this for audiophiles as well. I mean, this is already great. It just requires, this is built for rack mounting. So you need a separate power supply. This is just amazing. I mean, this is my dream. It's like my dream would be to have this in a portable format. It's like a fully analog. This is a fully analog PEQ, which means that you can pretty much change the sound however you want, without touching phase, without touching the digital signal. So it comes after the DAC, and so you kind of keep the integrity of the signal, and you can still change the sound in the way you want. So I know that headphone IEM crowd tends to be more mixed on EQ. I've obviously been using EQ for as long as I've been using IEM.
Bobby loves EQ.
Oh yeah, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby left after we stopped talking about IEM.
We can bash him all day.
Yeah, we can bash him all day. He doesn't stop watching.
We got your Asteria, Bobby.
Yeah. And so, but people who use headphones have been using EQ for a long time, and many people in the audiophile world were not aware, me included. I was not aware of this. So this has been out for 8 years. Great. All right. So enough about amps. Now DACs.
Yes, DACs.
We keep the best for last.
So should I start?
Yeah, just go for it.
So with the DAC. Again, I don't think we covered this one off, this beast right here. There we go.
No.
Doink, doink. That is the flagship DAC by Musetec, a company from China, which not many people have heard of, but you guys should hear about them, really. So they're a company that I think right now only makes, 3 products?
I think so,
2 DACs and 1 preamp.
Yeah.
And it is not a small DAC. It is quite large. It's slightly taller than the Metrum Pavant, which is at the bottom over here. It's, oh my God, where do I even start with this thing? So it's, number one, it is a bit heavy, okay? It's like, 16, 17 kilos or something. It's very well made, not super fancy sort of chassis or casework, but we couldn't care less.
Yeah.
This is kind of like two chassis in one box or something like that, because like Denefrips actually. So the bottom section, which is separated with a metal plate, is the power supply section, and then the top plate obviously is all the other stuff. Obviously the DAC section, the chips, the clocks, the output stage, and so on. The bottom section, I'm going to say it. Oh, there we go. It's zooming in. Thank you, smart camera. AI.
That's your hand.
It's with my hand. So the bottom section, and this is not an error, has 6 transformers, 6 of them, which is unheard of. I've never heard of that.
I don't know anything that has.
I don't know anything that has 6 transformers. That's probably where the weight comes from. But in the top section, so he uses 2 ESS 9039 Pro DAC chips, which is interesting because the flagship Gustard X30, which is their flagship Delta Sigma DAC, has the same chips, but it uses 4 of them. This uses 2 of them. However, this uses pure silver wiring in some sections. It has dual-end capacitors. I think they're from Denmark, and also Mundorf capacitors as well. But again, ignoring all that, this is a exceptional DAC. This is a wonderful, wonderful sounding DAC. Does it sound like a typical Delta Sigma DAC? Absolutely no.
It doesn't.
Absolutely no. It's so good. All I'm going to say is this is a reference DAC for us for testing. That's all I need to say.
It is, yes. This has, I'm not going to step in because otherwise the camera is going to, so you stay in the frame.
Oh, sorry. I see.
Yeah, so that you can smile while I talk, or you can try to lip sync me. So this is, this DAC became actually our, obviously we have the Rock Now Wave Dream reference over there.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but it's there, and it's my favorite DAC overall, money no object, right? But
that DAC is 23 or 24,000.
That's like over 23,000 pounds. I think in dollars is even more.
Yeah.
But most people kind of tend to stick with 5K and under or 6K and under for most DACs.
Yes.
That's
what we've seen.
I shouldn't say most people. That's not true. What I mean is, like, I think in the kind of audiophile, especially with headphones, etc., the price bracket, we think the 3 to 6K is like a very active kind of. There's a lot of people who look at DACs in that price range.
Yeah.
And this sits closer to the 3K mark. And
it's 3.6, I think.
Yeah. And it's the. I said it's the most R2R sounding Delta Sigma DAC that I've ever heard myself.
Sounds about right.
And it just does everything. It just very complete, very technical, full sounding, very engaging, musical, without being overly warm, without being definitely not bright at all. Has a it's big and heavy, but other than that, we were using, and it's a great synergy with the HM1 as well.
Yeah.
So
it's a great synergy with pretty much every amp. It's honestly, so this is a preamp as well, and the volume steps is in half dB increments, but it goes down to, what was it, 127 dB. 127. That is crazy range.
Yeah.
It comes with a remote, which is metal as well, right? Which is really cool. It does have I2S input as well. But yeah, again, just to echo what Sanjay said, this is a neutral but natural sounding Delta Sigma DAC, which has fantastic dynamics and tightness and spatiality. Really, really fantastic, and the resolution is amazing. It's kind of like it's kind of effortless.
It is effortless, definitely, definitely. And I have to say, the reason why we got this DAC, because if we found this DAC on a listing online or something, we would probably, I personally would look and be like, this looks so generic, and why is it so expensive? But the reason why we got is because Zelos looked at because they publish
the internals.
Always a good sign when you can see the internals. Obviously, a lot of people do it nowadays, but the serious brands do it. But Zelos came one day and he was like, "Oh my god, I've never seen these kind of inside, like this kind of build inside the DAC. Like it's very unusual." And so we got one to test, and we were just blown away by it. Right. So now it's become a staple.
Yeah.
And this is something that is gonna. I know a lot of people will want to see more reviews, and they will want to see other people talk about it. But this is 100. If you can try this DAC, 100% worth trying.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a smooth, technical, engaging, an extremely well-performing DAC. This for us. This is our kind of one of our top recommendations at the moment.
Absolutely. So did we talk about X30 before, or we did?
I don't know.
I'll go over it quickly. So this DAC right here, just over here. So this is the Gustard R30 DAC. This is their flagship R2R ladder DAC. It is the exact same sort of housing and chassis as the X30, which is their flagship Delta Sigma DAC. I'll just quickly go over the X30. So the X30, it does have impressive sound stage. It is very detailed. It is quite an incisive sound for sure, and technically very, very impressive. The R30 kind of goes in the other direction. So I've been a customer of Gustard for many years. I actually still have the R26. So I actually find this a bit warmer than the R26. And again, this hasn't had much hours. My R26 has been burned in a lot. But again, the internals, pretty amazing. They took their sweet time with this one. Actually, not sweet time. They took their time with this one.
Yeah.
Because I think the R26, which again caused a few ripples and waves, because obviously Gustard were always known for Delta Sigma DACs historically. I think that's been out for 3 years, 3.5, something like that. Again, forgive me if there's an error there. But this has a lovely fullness to the sound, really good body and really nice harmonic richness. It's a really pleasant sound. So this DAC, actually like the R26, you can use it in NOS mode,
right,
or you can use it in oversampling mode. So the hollow spring, if I give you an example, the hollow spring as an example, this is the Spring KTE.
That's the Bliss, actually.
Oh, is that the Bliss? Oh, we've got the Spring. So the Spring KTE, you can only use it in NOS. You can obviously feed it over sampling with Rune or HQ player, but it's nice for you to have that functionality hardware based, which is pretty cool. And I don't know if you can hear it, but I'll try and demo it here. So that is a passive relay based preamp. So that's a pretty cool feature, and it's really, really cool. We really like the sound of this one.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. The X30 is one of those things where, like, I respect it. I don't love it. It's not, maybe when I thought about it, actually, I was like, I've been personally using like Sonnet DACs for now pretty much 4 years.
Yeah.
At home. That's kind of where I'm, the
Sonnet Metrum,
Sonnet and Metrum both, right? So I was like, maybe I'm just more of an R2R kind of, that's what I like because it's pleasant, etc. But then the Musetec and the Rockna both contradict. Like, actually, Rockna is R2R, but Rockna is kind of almost the opposite example, where it's a bit of an aggressive R2R, like and the Musetec is obviously very, again, to me, I say R2R sounding. There's no really, it doesn't really mean anything R2R. It's just our imagination of what R2R is, as in like rounded edges, etc. But the R30 definitely comes in as another strong DAC. I much prefer it to the X30 personally.
Yeah.
I know that some people will lean in the other direction. People who like some people have a tube amp and want to pair it with a analytical DAC.
Which makes sense.
Which makes sense, right? Or some people just like a more neutral presentation.
Yeah.
The X30 would probably be better for that.
Yeah. Synergy is important, guys.
Absolutely. Synergy is very important, especially when you get to these big things. And but the R30, I like it a lot. We had a customer the other day, and again using HM1, comparing it blindly with the Spring and the Musetec, and the customer consistently, and we kept switching A and B, right? So I like to just make it a true blind test.
Of the 3 tests, all 3 times he preferred the R30 without even knowing, which is crazy.
So that obviously it's one person, it means nothing really, but I shared some thoughts on Discord, but again, this is one of those things, a DAC needs time to burn in, and then we need to listen to it. So we don't want to rush into any crazy conclusions at the moment. But again, kind of similar to the Fangsound, because we've only had this for 10 days now.
The R30,
but what we can say for sure is that early impressions are super positive.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think
wow.
That's we've been going for a little while. Thank you guys for staying with us.
Longer than a football game. How do we get this to zoom back? All right, we cannot. All right, guys. Sorry about this. This is gonna be a meme, but it's been long but fun.
Yes.
Thanks to everyone who watched us, all 3 of you. And we'll see you. Maybe we will try to do this a bit more regularly, so that we don't have to. So that it doesn't have to be 1.5 hours. But see you soon, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
See ya. That's good. Good fun.